Greetings, listeners. I am your host for the evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Justice Gear Studios production. You are about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast, GM'd by Derek Snow. The previous report from our investigators. The church bell tower seems to be home to a sadistic murderer, leaving behind evidence of bodies and slugs like the ones found in Swill's gullet. As the investigators plan their exit, unexpected visitors arrive.
Right.
Come out, wherever you are. Marion, you get to do something first.
Do I? It's just open a tiny little crack, so I probably don't see anything.
You can open it a bit more, see if you can see out into the room.
I hear two sets of footsteps coming into the church?
Yes.
Okay, did they tell us how many people were coming, or did they say people
You
coming?
could hear everything that was said upstairs anyway.
Okay. So I'm gonna
figure there would be two. Well, that's what she saw too. There could be more. You just saw two.
Yeah, you're right. I did
when you looked out.
And I think didn't I just say we have company?
Okay. Yeah, we have company.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to leave you guys here.
Oh no, leave us behind. just do. At least me.
I was going to say, don't leave me behind.
Actually, with the way this goes, Marion and Althea, you can act at the same time. Mm-hmm. You're together, and it makes sense.
Yep.
Do we recognize that voice at all?
No.
Okay.
Sounds gruff, but you don't recognize the voice.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna just put a finger to my lips and look at Althea.
I'm fine with that. We'll just wait until something actually, until we need to react to something. Because right now we're hiding, hoping someone doesn't find us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'll say is I'm gonna hold an action when they get about halfway down the aisle of the church.
How would you tell unless the door's open to see?
Fair point. Okay, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna for now stay here because I can hear them entering the church. Mm-hmm. What I'm doing is when I hear them get closer is when I'm gonna start waving Althea to go down the cellar. So
Makes sense.
I was just looking at whether or not I had any points in stealth. I do not.
Oh.
Anyway.
Wonderful. Okay, fair enough. So, Marion and Althea, as you're behind the door, you're sort of whispering to each other about, when they get closer.
I'm not gonna whisper. I'm just gonna hand simple. Just use my hands. I'm not gonna.
There is no
okay.
sound.
Very quiet.
Fair enough. So, be quiet.
Can I tell that they're behind that door right across from me?
As you come down and you can look out, the door is only slightly open. It would be a spot hidden.
It's basically open enough that it didn't close.
Yeah, but so it's just barely noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
25 out of 44.
You do notice that the door on the opposite side of the hall that you would assume leads down.
Put a tick in it?
Oh, you don't have a tick on spot hidden. Oh, yeah. You
I
can
felt
put
it all. This is
yeah,
so
you can
bad.
put a tick on it, yeah.
Okay.
As you look across, you notice that the door that apparently would lead down to the cellar, which was closed, is now just slightly open. That's what you notice. Then you all, except for Agatha, who's up top, you all hear footsteps walking up the aisle of the church toward the front of the church where you people are. Gets around halfway. You'd assume, really. You can just tell by the sound.
Waving at Althea to go down the stairs and stealth down the stairs.
Okay.
Okay,
As
so
quietly as humanly possible.
Okay, so you guys prepare to move down the stairs because now we're going to move on to Agatha.
I'm gonna climb down the rope. Yeah, I'm gonna climb down the rope to meet up with.
The winch rope, correct?
Yes, the wrench rope. Yes, not the bell rope, please.
Climb check.
83. Ooh, out of 20.
Okay, so, you're using a rope. It's not like you're going to just fall off the rope, but you make noise coming down.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and you can, as Amos, you're sort of But look at the door, and then you can hear this squeaking, knocking on the wall as Agatha is lowering herself and steadying herself on the wall.
It actually doesn't bother me because knowing that those two are at the other side and they don't really have much for weapons, because both of us have most of the weapons, I would rather her down here and have them come towards us anyway. So,
Amos,
in a way, I'm okay with this.
Amos, what would you like to do?
Is the door that we're behind wide open?
Yes.
So the idea, so correct me if I'm wrong layout wise. So if I were to kind of try, I'm going to try and describe this as best I can. So if this rectangle is of my hands is the chapel, the doors to the chapel are at the center of the back wall. And on the opposite side of the church, there's the main altar and a door on the left and a door on the right facing each other. So our door open does not face the front of the church.
It's to the side. You can see it's open.
Yeah, they can see the doors open, obviously,
Yeah.
so they know that we're here. Yeah, okay. Good, that's just what I wanted to see. So I can't... If I wanted to look at them, I'd have to step out of the door to see them.
Or poke your head out or something.
Yeah, that's... Okay. Perfect. I figured that was the case. I'm going to wait till she gets to the bottom.
Yeah, she gets down.
Yeah.
This turn.
With gun out.
Yep.
Yes, and I will also have my gun. Basically, when I hit the bottom, I probably would have it swing it off my shoulder and ready for the kill.
I whispered to her, do we want to make it to the cellar?
If that's where Marion and... shouldn't we lead them away from it?
We either stay here and they find us, or we go to the cellar and make a run for it.
Do you think we'll have a clear...
They're going to shoot at us.
They're gonna shoot us. But there's pews and stuff in the way, right? That we can see?
Well, I mean, pews are only...
The only thing in their way between them and shooting us is the main altar. We will have to run from one door to the other.
I see, okay.
I can blind fire as we run, but they would just...
Well, you have a better chance than I do. I can't because I have to
I know.
move too. Yeah, I guess that's...
You go first, I cover you?
Is that... Yeah, I guess that's the best plan that we've got.
Okay.
So...
Fantastic. So I guess the plan is, on when we're both like, hey! I'm going to point out, I'm actually going to try and shoot at them, and you're going to go for the cellar?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. That's our plan. What do we need to do for that?
Okay, so we're going to go back to
Okay.
Marion and Althea, who have maneuvered and started walking down to the cellar, and you make it to the cellar.
Do we roll stealth roll or just redo it?
If you'd like to be stealthy, it'd be stealth rolls.
I would like to be
Okay.
stealthy.
I would like to try to be stealthy.
13 out of 40.
Wow, damn.
I did not. That's
well, that'll
an
do it.
81 out of 20 because I have no skills in stealth.
So it's a tick on stealth. It's getting some other skill usages here. This is great. This is great.
I don't know if stealth is one of those skills I wanted to have to use.
It
Today.
doesn't mean that you make a big pile of racket heading down. It just means that you are not as stealthy as Marion, who is
Yes.
not making any noise.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, and both of you maneuver down to the cellar, and it's the way as I described it before.
There's still some light coming in from the open door. Is Regal still on the altar?
No.
Interesting.
Is there,
That
is there sound of anything else in the cellar? Because I don't want to think that, they were a distraction while somebody else came in through the side or something.
No, you don't see anything else really out of the ordinary. I'm going to have Althea roll a spot hidden. I know I call for lots of spot hidden rolls, but it makes sense.
No, 62 out of 43.
Okay, I'll let Marion make a roll as well. Because you're both there.
16
Damn.
out of 36.
So you notice a little chest, like a hope chest, I don't know how else to put it, off to the side, that has a latch on it, but there doesn't seem to be any other like chests or anything else in the room, and you missed it before just as you were just quickly looking around, whatever, there's just a little chest there.
Does it seem particularly important? Like, does it have a symbol on it? Is it, or is it like it's just odd that we didn't notice it before, kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually call for a history roll. History roll, yes.
My history is not bad. 32 out of 35.
High five!
How to take on history? It's not really a hope chest. It's more like a military crate,
Oh.
maybe from the First World War.
Oh no!
Read that shit.
Well, that's sufficiently interesting. I'm going to go closer to it. And is it like it's locked, latched, or
It's just
latched?
latched.
I'm going to try. I'm
Yeah.
going to try to open it.
Yeah, so you hit the latches and you lift it up, and you notice there's a lot of like straw and stuff in here. And in a little, this is not normally something that happens in Cthulhu, but I find it amusing. And when you lift up the straw, there looks to be slots to put stuff in. 20 different things to be precise. There are 16 of the slots are empty. 4 of the other ones appear to be housing grenades.
Huh. I kind of gasp.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go back upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? 2, 1.
One.
I'm going to point out and I'm going to fire at the first 2 individuals that I see in the chapel that
And
aren't my
at
friends.
the exact same time, of course, because he's covering fire, I'd be running to.
Sure. As you are running across, as the gun starts, I'm gonna have you roll. It'll be with penalty dice.
Yeah.
As
Because I can fire up to 3 times in one attack round. I forget
yeah,
how
but they would all
many
have penalty dice
Yeah,
anyway.
which makes perfect sense.
As you sort of lean out and take some shots, you see 2 figures duck down a bit low. They both have shotguns.
Oh, okay. It's not bad.
They look. I don't know how else to put it. They look like thugs.
Oh, okay. All right.
The sort, the
Yeah.
thuggish sort.
Okay.
And they seem to be, as you jump out, and they seem to be about to pull their shotguns over, but you get your shots first.
This first one is. Oh, that would have been. That would have been.
What's the 2%?
Would have been 4%, but it's 44% instead. Which is 44 to 69.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
I'm just going to get you to roll all 3.
Okay, so then that's the first one. Second one was 42 or 12. So 42 still hits though.
Nice.
And the second one's either 47 or 57. So the third one, oh, they all 3 hit.
Okay, so you jump out to do some
Yeah.
covering fire.
Shit.
And they all 3 hit.
That's not bad.
I'm cool with that. Do I roll damage with them?
Yes.
Oh wow! Look at this. First shot does 9 damage.
Sure.
Second shot does. I'll roll that again because it's kind of weirdly cocked. Does 9 damage, and the third shot does 6 damage.
Okay, so give me 1 second here. So 2 of the 9 damage shots go into the same guy,
Okay.
and the 6 damage shot goes into the other one.
Okay.
So
You
one
just
guy,
killed a man.
so you jump out to do covering fire, and you shoot the guy in the chest, and then in the head,
Oh, dang.
and he just blows his brains out, and he flops to the ground. The other guy gets shot in the shoulder, and his sort of shotgun goes down a bit. You get to run across, and you do because of that shock of his weapon got knocked down. As
Yep.
you run across to the other door, then he manages to raise up the shotgun and tries to shoot you with it.
Yeah, wait, how close is he? How close is he? With a shotgun?
It does have a spray on it.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Going to ruin your day.
It probably won't kill me. It'll just wildly maim me.
We've been wildly maimed
He
before.
does get a penalty die.
Be chipper. You've had a machete in your shoulder before.
Yeah, I almost got blown up with it too.
Exactly. So
Why would it be chipper?
So what happens is because you're only leaning out, he shoots the shotgun, loud bang, and it hits the side of the wall right next to your heart, and the shards and splinters shoot into your face.
Yeah.
You take 1 damage.
Yeah, that's fair.
As it rips up the side of your face, and you're pushed back into.
When I get to the door, can I shoot at this person or no?
You were just getting over
No,
there.
just getting over there.
Opening the door. Are you running down to the cellar, or are you going to stay at that door?
I would probably stay at the door to make sure that Amos got down.
Okay, so basically we go into round 2 and try this again.
We go into round 2. The thing is, this guy was just holding his action to shoot at somebody. You'll still go with the same thing. Okay. But first, we're going to go to Marion. And Althea, where you hear gunshots coming from upstairs.
I put all 4 grenades in my satchel.
Okay.
I don't want them throwing them at us.
Sure.
If there are grenades, no one else should have them but us. And then I turn to Elsie and I say, run! And start running toward the door to the cellar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Running up and out, the doors to the cellar are still open? Are they still open?
Yes, they're still open. Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't close.
So out, and I don't want to run full bore. I'll kind of just go out and take a little glance to see if I see anybody in the yard outside the cellar doors first before I go fully outside. I don't want to just come up as like, hey, shoot me. I'm right here.
So as you look out into the yard, you notice 2 more individuals. Just sort of standing by the archway, just looking up at the chapel.
Okay.
Is what's sort of looking up at the chapel. One of them appears to have a handgun of some sort. It's hard to tell from this distance. Like what kind specifically, what kind of handgun it is. And the other one seems to have a Lee Enfield rifle. And they're just sort of at the archway, sort of looking up. They don't really spot you, just peeking around the side. But yeah.
Do they look like the thuggish sort?
They look thuggish. They are thugs.
Thuggish. All right. Is it possible for me to sneak down along the side of the chapel to the corner without them potentially seeing me?
You mean walking in front of the chapel? Because you're like on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're just looking around the side and you can see them down
Okay,
the back.
so I'm already up out
Yeah.
of the cellar because that's what I said. I wanted to look out of the cellar.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You wouldn't see anything there because you wouldn't be able to see the archway.
Okay, so
I'm just going to say you had moved up there and you can see it.
okay. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna move back to the cellar door, and I'm gonna say, Marion.
I'm already out of the cellar, by the way.
Okay. We're gonna need a distraction.
Who do you see?
There's 2 more people out there, right in the archway, so they're in our way to actually leave the yard. So. Okay. All right. We just need to get them away from the archway. Buy some time for the others to get out. So, have you ever thrown a grenade before? No. Okay, so it's not a big deal. We don't have to hit them with it. We just need to get them moving. Maybe?
Should we throw it into a corner of the yard?
Yeah, sure.
You're gonna
That
throw
works.
a grenade.
Yeah, she's okay with doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Sound okay? Sound okay to you?
As long as we're not throwing it at anyone, I'm sure that.
there
No.
it is.
Honestly, I don't see either of us being able to do that.
Okay, so are you throwing a grenade?
Into the corner of the yard.
Yeah, just, as long as
In
it's
the corner,
away.
like where the graveyard is.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
want
you
it
can
to
blow
be
up
like
corpses, that's fine.
away from us,
That sounds like
basically.
Oh, yeah.
religious
As
at
long as
all.
it doesn't hit us, then I'm
Who
okay
is
with it.
going to throw the grenade?
I have the base of 20 for throw, because I'm assuming it's still a throw.
It is a throw check.
I also have the base of 20 for throw.
Oh, if only I was there, I have a 27.
All right, so
I mean, there's multiple grenades. You each can throw one
That's
if you
true.
like.
Just start with one.
all
Start
right,
with one.
I'll do it. It's my idea.
Okay.
So I hand her a grenade.
Remember the last time I
gonna grenade roll in.
remember the last time I threw something? Remember the last time I threw something? It was a machete.
I was
Yeah,
there.
I'm well aware, and it almost blew up,
Listen,
just like this grenade.
You're okay. You're inside.
I love how you just took your rings off
Okay,
before
I
you
do.
rolled the dice for throwing a grenade.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand in that corner.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna launch the grenade away from us as far as I can.
Yep, depending on the dice roll. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as soon as it leaves my hand, I'm going to turn and I'm going to run back towards the cellar door because I want as much distance between us and this thing as possible.
Go ahead. I want you to roll a throw check. Is there anything else you're doing with the grenade before you throw it?
I'm going to pull the pin.
There you go.
And I'm going to pull the pin and I'm going to hold the little thing until I let it go. I'm not going to pull the pin, hold it, and say, oh, I'm going to
This
make a
sucks.
grenade boom. No. Nobody look. Everybody look.
I'm looking. I'm the keeper. I'm looking.
I'm so scared.
You should be.
I will burn luck if I have to.
Okay.
No.
You're not burning that much luck.
I didn't roll 100, as is my usual habit. But
Is it? What did you get?
75 out of 20.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It could have been much worse.
It's a fail, but it's not a disastrous fail.
Basically, I don't want to blow up Marion and me.
As soon as she
And
throws it,
it's not going to go inside the chapel because I didn't roll 100.
I need you to roll another percentage for me.
as soon as she throws it, because like she throws it and runs, I also run.
Yeah. We're running away.
And it only matters if you roll 5% or less.
Don't say that.
No, it's important
Yeah,
to
but
know.
when you say that, that's what I do.
I'm the keeper. I need to say it.
Oh, look, it's 3%.
Another 75.
Oh, thank God.
I thought that when I saw the 5, I thought it was just that 5%.
I know, I thought it too.
As you throw a grenade, it doesn't go exactly where you want it to,
I didn't even know really where I wanted it to go.
because
to
it's
be
not
fair.
completely spherical.
Yeah.
So
I'm a scientist throwing a grenade.
so you throw it, and it doesn't go where you want to. Maybe 15 feet to the side. Of course, where all the crows are.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, no, I
and
feel
you
bad.
do notice as it leaves your hand that Regal is with those crows.
Oh, why would you do that?
But as soon, let me finish, people. God.
Terrible
But as
person.
soon as you throw it, Regal looks over in your direction, caws, and takes off, and all of them start following him.
Oh, okay.
As soon as you throw it.
I'll kill humans, but I don't want to kill any crows.
Kill my Regal, I swear to God.
You tried to
not
kill my rat.
Do not.
I did
enter.
not.
Anyway.
I listened to your rats.
And then there's a big, but you turned around and ran back.
Oh, yeah,
and you ran back.
yeah.
So you don't see it, but there's a loud bang, explosion. You see dirt fly by the side where you rang back, where there's an explosion. You don't hear anybody
Okay.
say or do anything. But I'm going to go back to
Oh, yeah.
Agatha and Amos.
Okay.
What?
No. I was just going to. No, it's fine. We can wait until then.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Does the explosion distract the guy in the chapel?
So it probably might distract you as well, as there's a super loud explosion and the church
What?
rattles a little bit.
Okay.
As we go to you, Agatha.
Yeah, I've got the lowest dexterity, yeah.
As
It
you go
would be-
to, as
that would
you're
be last.
Okay.
As you reach the door and you turn around, you can see one figure's dead on the ground.
Yes.
There's the other guy. He seems to be bleeding quite profusely from his shoulder.
Right.
But he seems to be ducked behind a pew now.
Amos, run! Basically, I'm gonna yell across, get over here, and I will not shoot anything, but have cover if the guy gets out from the pew with my rifle. Run.
You're holding an action?
I'm holding my rifle.
Yeah, you're going to shoot when he...
If you get an opportunity.
Yeah, I will shoot him when I have an opportunity.
Okay,
yes.
so if she's holding her action, I'm going to boogie, but I will kind of like bang, bang, but like blind.
You're going to run and shoot. Three shots.
I don't intend to hit him. I just want him to not feel inclined to stand up.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter as long as they go anywhere to the right of me. If I accidentally hit him, perfect. If not, that's fine as long as he doesn't feel the urge to stand up.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So you
That
just
makes
take 3 wild shots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Bang, bang, bang. Hope to God he's discouraged enough from that to stand up while I'm running. And then hopefully that should be enough for me to make it to the door.
He stays completely ducked down, so 3 bullets just
Perfect.
by him?
That's fine.
go by as you run over to the cellar door.
Okay. Are we going down?
And then I guess, yeah, if he's not getting up, then
Yep.
I'm going to say we both run into the cellar.
Cool. As we're going down the stairs, I'm going to swap the clip to one that's full. And we're in the cellar.
Yeah, you're in the cellar.
As we go in, not knowing what was down there, but how the things went down before, those two, I'm like, all right, Regal, where's that fucking bird?
Why do you care about a bird? And I'm just going to grab him by
I
like the
was
shoulder and just
emotionally
keep
attached.
running.
I named it. I shouldn't have. All right, let's go.
yeah,
Go
so,
towards the cellar door.
So yeah, you head towards the cellar door. I'm going to go back to Marion and Althea, who, what would you like to do right now?
Keep running until we get to the other side of the church.
So you're
Yeah.
running around the back of the
Yeah,
church.
so I was gonna say, like, if the explosion landed, if those guys come to inspect once the debris has settled, I want to be on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
chapel from where that is, basically.
Okay.
I want to try to get to the car.
Yeah, you're
Basically.
running around. So
Yeah.
basically, as you take off and run around the chapel, eventually when you get to the end and you're looking down, you don't see anybody at the archway.
Run to the arch.
Yeah, and you guys start running to
Yep.
the arch. As Amos and Agatha, as you get out of the cellar door, you can hear the footsteps of, you're assuming your friends, running around behind.
People running frantically.
Yeah. I'm assuming you might
We'll
do
take
this.
the shortest route to the arch.
That
as
would
long
be
as there's
towards
no
where
people.
they threw the. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as we don't see any baddies.
Yeah. As you run around to the side, you don't see anyone at the archway. You do see a big hole.
Jesus.
What the heck? They're probably on the other side of the archway now, hiding behind the wall. So
Let's run to the archway. And stop
We
the
don't
wall.
know that.
we could
they don't know
we
that.
could have make that assumption because we saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
But what I mean by that is we don't know that we're just going right for
Yeah,
the
we're
arch.
just bolting it
Yeah.
to the car.
yeah.
So, first off, Marion and Althea are going to reach the archway first.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Take cover if possible.
So you're on the inside of the archway to the side.
to make sure that we don't have anybody who could shoot at us when we go through the archway to go to the parked car.
So Marion and Amos, as you come around the short end, you look over just as Marion and Althea arrive, and you see them on the inside against the wall.
Agatha.
Agatha.
Amos.
Oh,
And then-
sorry. Sorry. Agatha and Amos. Yeah.
So then I kind of grab Agatha you by the sleeve, and then we're going to actually go on the other side of the archway, like where the same side of the arch on the inside of the courtyard, but on the opposite entrance to match those two.
Yeah, so you're all in the same location.
Yeah.
And then we just, Althea put her hand up to her mouth as like and do like the symbol of like 2, and then point
Is there
and a shrug.
is there like a handy rock?
There's a rock there.
I'm gonna
Definitely now.
kinda, like toss it through the archway. See if anything happens.
So yeah, you toss a rock through the archway, and
Now they know where we are.
nothing happens.
How thick is the wall? Like the archway?
The
is
wall
like this,
itself?
The wall, because there would
Masonry blocks, so yeah, pretty thick.
be. Oh, okay. So like probably like 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
So I could still conceal myself while looking around the corner
Well-
towards where the car is, right?
Well, if you look through the archway,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be in the open of the archway.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
I'm keeping an eye up on the front of the church too.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
the
it
guy
just,
that was still alive.
Are there vines or anything growing on this wall?
no. Although it does look like it'd be easily scalable.
I'm gonna try and scale the wall.
Okay.
Oh, there she goes.
So I'm going to take care of something now as well. Amos, as you look back, you can see a guy sort of poke his head out of the church.
Does he look
Yeah.
wounded?
Yeah, he looks wounded, and he has a shotgun. And just as he's poking out, and he has has a shotgun in front of him, you see a pile of ravens led by Regal just swoop into him, and you just see them all disappear into the church.
Oh.
Rah, 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 raven noises. As Marion,
Do they don't attack the guy? They just fly by him and go into the church?
no. They,
Oh no, he's like on him.
So he was in the doorway, and they swarmed to the church
Oh
with
my
him.
god!
There's a murder happening right now.
A murder,
A murder.
of crows.
Ravens.
Oh, ravens.
Anyway,
Marion, you climb up to the top. It's not very hard. I don't even require a climb check for this, really. You climb up to the top, and are you going to be looking down?
Yeah.
You look down, and you don't see anybody there.
There's no one there. Quick, guys, go to the car.
Guess we go to the car?
Yeah. Run,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Run.
I'm gonna keep my gun up and looking at the courtyard and backing out as they run forward.
I
Yeah.
won't be able to have my rifle drawn because I have to be able to get into a car with it. So.
I climb down and get in the car.
Yeah. Everyone, as you leave the archway, can roll a spot hidden.
Goddamn.
No, 85 out of 66.
90 out of 43 for Althea.
What?
39 out of 36.
Okay, so Amos, and you would notice this amongst above everyone else. There's something that's on the road that wasn't there before, which is burnt out tread marks.
Burnt out tread marks?
So there
From a
was
vehicle. Took off really fast.
Okay, but not our vehicle.
Yeah, like grenades? Seriously? That type of fuck this.
we don't get paid. All right, so we know that they don't get paid enough to deal with grenades.
Yeah. So in which case I kind of relax a little bit. Go. Hey guys, actually I think we're fine. So the grenade wasn't them. They didn't throw grenades.
Well,
at
you don't know. You just heard a loud bang.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
sorry,
but I saw the debris.
Yeah,
I
you saw the debris.
I thought that the enemies threw grenades.
Yeah,
I would make that assumption.
Yeah. There you go.
Wait, hang on. So these Did they throw grenades?
No.
They could have.
They could, yeah.
So what was the loud bang?
We needed a distraction.
Okay, hang on a second. Did you,
Are we in the car?
I pointed the skid marks.
Yes,
Driving.
So
Driving
you
fast.
all hop into the car.
Yes.
Oh yes,
Oh.
fast and away.
I mean,
Back
I
to the
guess so.
mansion?
All right.
Yes.
I guess there's nothing more to go and check
No, we
in.
need to go to the police station.
I just take a look at the front of the chapel. Do I see anything else going on in the chapel?
No, it's eerily silent. It's eerily silent.
I kind of look over towards them at the car. Is there anything else we need to check while we're here?
No, we're driving currently.
No, unless you left him. He's not in the car.
Oh, why are you not in the car?
Yeah.
Get in the car!
Because I'm trying to talk to you guys about the. All right,
We
fine,
just
whatever.
got in the
I'm in the car. Whatever.
As you take off.
Now I'm driving. Yes.
And where are you heading to?
Home.
No, we need to go to the police station.
No,
Excuse me,
mansion.
why?
You said there were bodies.
Marion, you just got injured. We gotta tend to you
Alright.
first.
Did we go to the police station when we found your boss's body? Exactly.
We should
So, yeah, okay. Anyway, so who threw a grenade? You threw a grenade.
I'm sorry, what? You know, this is all very complicated. Why don't we go back to the
You
house?
scared the shit out of a bunch of thugs and they drove away. I'm so proud of you.
Well, you know,
Where did you get fucking grenades?
they were in a box. Marion found them.
In the cellar.
You
Wait,
took
no,
grenades.
This is not the point. The point is you said that you found bodies.
Oh yeah, dozens of them.
Then we need to go to the police.
You do know that this is the church that the police avoid because 20 of them died in it, right?
When they raided it,
And they've avoided it ever since.
that would be why no one
For
else has
5
found
years.
these bodies.
Amos, could you roll me an idea? A knowledge roll. It would be a knowledge roll. Sorry. Intellect. Idea. Yeah, I think they combined it, actually. It's idea
Yeah.
roll there.
60 out of 70. Yeah.
Okay. You do realize that if you go to the police, you killed somebody.
Yeah.
So you will be held for questioning and probably arrested if you go to the police.
Yeah. All right.
But because you're familiar.
Yeah. Let me list out a couple of facts here. Let me just lay out a few things. One, we've already gone to the police and asked them about the Church of Contemplation, and
Before we
they
knew what
said
had happened in it.
said don't go. Firstly, secondly, we were attacked by thugs. Are we safe to say that they came in and were threatening to us? Yes. And I ended up shooting one and killing one.
You did what?
So, oh, for the love of God, yeah, it's okay. I would rather just get shot by them and not die. There's a thing. So, unless I have a private conversation with my bud Bill separately, now, in defending ourselves, I killed a man. So, unless I have a private conversation with Bill, which won't get us anything, there is no point in bringing this to the police.
Those people deserve.
The only one we
Justice.
should bring this to is Mr. Black.
There's also the fact that there was evidence of those slugs up with those bodies. Do we really want to endanger the public?
Yeah, which,
to
by
those
the way,
things.
the last time that slugs were involved, the military locked down an entire place. They're on a manhunt for skeet, which we've been keeping hidden. So, if we're going to be talking about breaking the law and avoiding certain things, I believe this falls under that definition.
I think we're so far into this that if we go to the police, we're going to end up getting arrested ourselves and being of no help to finding your boss.
Now, and the last thing, we bring it up to Mr. Black. Then perhaps if you wish to bring the police in on this, which they don't want any involvement in, but let's say we I agree with you with the justice of the poor innocents that are up in the bell tower, then maybe Mr. Black leaves an anonymous tip.
Very well.
There we go. As long as we have Mr. Black send some of his cleaners to clean up after us. Is everyone in agreement with that plan?
It makes sense.
Because at this point, it looks like we're the ones that left the bodies there. Because the man who left them ran into a sewer. So,
Doing fine.
having said that, we should call Mr. Black, as we already agreed with him that we would do, let him know what happened, and see how he thinks the center should deal with the situation.
I completely agree.
Very well.
And I'm going to drink all the whiskey you have.
Water.
Good luck.
Water.
You can't afford the whiskey that I have.
I'll have as much of it until I knock the fuck out.
Also, by the way, Amos does this wonderful speech with shrapnel all over the side of his face.
Yeah, see? Clearly justified. Ow.
Yeah, as you drive to...
I want to go home.
Yeah.
The mansion. Yeah.
Yes. To the Goodyear Mansion on the hill. You arrive back at the mansion on the hill. The Goodyear Mansion on the hill. Mm-hmm. The Goodyears. Yay! Woo! So, like I said, just as you're getting out of the Packard Twin 6,
The car.
the front of the estate, Cadbury's at the top of the steps,
Yup.
looking dapper as usual.
Of course.
Pulling shrapnel out of my face.
I kind of limp out of the car.
Mm-hmm. And he's just sort of looking at you all as you're getting out of the vehicle. And he's just like, And then he sort of glances at the three of you, but then he looks quickly at Althea. She seems fine, so he's like,
Yeah. Completely unscathed.
yeah, perfect.
These two fell out of a freaking bell tower.
Mm-hmm. Everyone looks hurt but Althea.
Yep. I
Cadbury
got shot in the
is
face.
Okay with that.
I'm going to go over to Marion and see if she needs assistance up the stairs because of her injury.
Oh, thank you. And I accept said help.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so you all get up to the steps, and Cadbury's standing there.
Okay.
Ma'am, is there anything that you would like me to take care of?
We're going to need some medical attention for Marion and perhaps the other two. Also, I'm curious to know if Simon's come to yet.
No, ma'am. Simon has not come to yet.
Has there been any change at all?
No, not really.
All right. I think that's it for now then. We just need some rest. Maybe.
I think we should seek medical attention first, though. And
Yeah.
considering you're trained.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are you all heading down to the lab then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. You all head down to the lab. You see Simon there. I'm lying down.
I'm getting really sick of how familiar I am with this place.
And what would you like to do?
Whoever needs bandaging can just sit up on the table.
Okay, and I'm assuming you're going to check everybody over.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Eeny, meeny, miny.
You can all go first. I got to get stuff pulled out of my face.
I will not be first because I'm not as injured
Okay.
as them.
You're up.
Marion. go
Okay.
first. Medicine?
First aid.
First aid. Okay.
Medicine is sort of like more long-term care.
Okay. Ooh. 94 out of 60. I have 60 in first aid.
Yeah, 94 doesn't help that much.
I guess I'm distracted.
Yeah, as you're...
Cadbury, can you please help me with this?
So Cadbury comes over to check because you don't really notice.
My hands are kind of like we're not
Basically,
steady.
you go to Marion and you're like lifting an arm and it hurts. You're like, oh, does that hurt? And then she pokes at something else. Ah! And Cadbury comes on over and
To be fair, I deal more with corpses than living people.
yeah, Cadbury comes over and he starts, stretching
usually say
you
anything.
out and stuff like that.
Usually.
Yes, looks like you got yourself a bit hurt there. So 2 of the wounds you suffered seems to he helps alleviate that pain. It's more pain than anything else. It's not like a puncture wound or anything.
He's better with living people.
Yeah, so as Cadbury is with Marion, you can move on to the other 2.
Who wants to be next?
I'm gonna say Amos is next.
Amos?
Yeah, basically you get some
Sure.
tweezers and you start ripping some
Don't
shrapnel out.
push them
57 out of 60 this
Take on
time.
first aid. How many wounds did you lose?
One.
Yeah, she bandages it up in that wound because it's really superficial.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super superficial.
Agatha, do you want me to lay my gentle hands of healing on you?
Oh my god, run away.
take a look.
Watch me
Run as
roll
far as you
100 and I
can.
punch you in the face.
Run!
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
26.
Yeah, so basically it was the damage I believe you took from the fall, but you landed properly. Wasn't it 1 damage there?
There was 1 damage. Now, I do have a question. I did have 8 in my current HP, and I know I had 11 before. So I did take some damage, I think, in the brawl at the house, too, before going to the diner, if I'm correct. So there might be some additional... Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But it was successful first aid.
Yep.
I think you fell down a ladder.
It was,
So
Marion fell on you when
was,
she fell off
Yes,
when she
she
got shot by the
did.
dart.
yeah,
That's
so
right.
basically 3 wounds are going to be alleviated.
Oh, cool.
Basically because of superficial damage. It's more bruising and stuff like that.
I get a hard success.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
You know,
good.
gives you some painkillers and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
I guess heroin. I guess that's the 20s.
Oh, God.
excellent.
Gives you-
OPM.
It gives you some painkillers. Nothing overly strong, I'm assuming.
No, nothing like what Cadbury gave me.
No.
That's reserved for
You.
yes. and his skillful application of such.
So it takes around an hour, bandaging, working through all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. While we're getting bandaged, Amos, do you have a couple questions for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we're all in the same room, who was the guy that ran away from the church?
You know him?
I think I know him.
Well, he knows her. He's got a painting of her in the evisceration room in the bell tower.
What?
Oh, that sounds
Worrisome. Worrisome
maybe.
is probably the word you're looking for.
that might be a slight understatement given the circumstances.
I think the guy, I'm almost sure the person who ran away, his name is Albert Gall. And he was a patient of mine years ago.
Oh, shit.
Well, do you want to give them a description of what you saw on the bodies?
How squeamish are the two of you?
What do you mean?
All right. At the top of the chapel in the bell tower room, he had collected bodies. Dozens of them in various, possibly, it was hard to tell as only a few of them were completely intact.
Oh.
Some were in various states of dismemberment. All of them had similar layers of dismemberment. All of them had their eyes removed.
In jars.
And
Put in
placed into jars. All of them had teeth removed. Each of them had their left cheek chewed out.
And on the necks.
And their necks chewed out as well, yes.
And they were also nailed to the wall.
Yes, they were nailed to the wall with several hieroglyphics, symbols painted upon them in white, as well as etched onto the walls behind them. Jars filled with the scooped eyes. Oddly enough, there were fewer eyes than there were holes of eye holes.
And in the jar of the eyes, there was those little slugs from Swill's gullet in there too.
In some of the bodies were some full-grown slugs similar to Swill's gullet. So if you recall me blasting several bullets, it was because upon Agatha going down the ladder, one of the slugs leapt from the corpse and jumped at me, and I shot it. Preemptively shot into some of the other corpses where other slugs were hiding. some came out, shot at them, and that's where the bullets had. That's what was going on with the bullets up top. But yeah, that was. And then behind one of the corpses, again, in that said white ink, there was a very, very accurate depiction of Agatha painted in white behind one of the bodies in the wall, as well as in his little work desk, some journal, some scraps. I think that sums up the room pretty well. So he seems to have been cultivating some of those white worms from Swill's gullet.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant sight.
It's also equally horrifying as who this gentleman is as well.
It gets worse.
Well, so before I went to the asylum where I had worked prior to working with the Center of Antiquities, I had started off as a beginner in a place called Taunton State Hospital for the criminally insane. And that is where I treated Mr. Gall. Now, Mr. Gall, was admitted to the hospital because he attacked his employer with a pair of shears, cutting shears. Now, from the report, it had said that there was an argument between his employer and himself. He worked as a tailor, and he had taken the shears and had attacked. That's the simplest report. What actually was the most troublesome was the fact that the cheeks of the employer had been basically bitten off by Gall. Now, when this happened with witnesses, Gall actually did initially escape the scene with the shears, and he was found later with self-inflicting wounds on the body.
Jesus.
In a certain pattern that wasn't really recognized but was recorded. And basically when taken into custody was just mumbling, was mad. There's no other question. He was mad. Obviously, he was tried. And unfortunately, the gentleman he had attacked also succumbed to the wounds and had died himself. When I was as assistant to Gall in the mental hospital, the practice there was they were starting off with basically treating it as if the mind wasn't really broken, it could be brought back to possibly, the initial goal was to have him tried as an actual criminal instead of being just criminally insane because of the wounds, but we need to prove some sanity, correct? In this interview, Gall, who had seemed to be being successfully treated, attacked me and actually left, and I'm going to pull over my collar and you're going to see a clear bite mark in the collarbone.
Ugh.
Attacked me, attacked the staff that tried to help me, and actually escaped and has not been seen since. He is known, obviously, for the bite marks, that trademark from the first victim of biting the cheeks, and of course mine biting the throat. And with the depiction of me on there, now I don't know, there was no sense of him being obsessed with me, but it would make sense because I was the one who treated him. Possibly why I would even be there as a depiction on the wall.
Was no other doctors that treated him?
At the time, I was my first case. There would have possibly been others who would know of him, but I was mostly.
Or was there some kind of conversation you had with him that may have stuck with him?
Not that I am aware of.
Yeah, so I'm just going to jump in for a second. You were pretty much doing, as this was your first time dealing with this, the standard array, the clipboard questions.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And at the start, he was just giving regular, normal answers, but you're not sure what it is, but something like sort of set him off, right? And he tried to attack you.
Was there ever anyone that he attacked that lived besides yourself?
No, the only victim that was his employer. And the employer obviously died.
So if we were to assume everyone in that bell tower is his own victim, that would mean that you were the only person he has ever attacked that is alive.
That would be correct.
You believe he's going after her next? Why would he have waited this long?
That's the thing. I don't know if it's so much that he's tracking her down or hunting her, as opposed to he's just, fixated by the one that got away. Maybe. Obviously, he hasn't tried to find her, unless he has. How long after you left him as a doctor did you start working for the center and go to Swill's Gullet? The other question, in case this is also a part of the same answer, how long ago was it that he escaped?
So actually, it would have been 6 years ago.
Okay.
Approximately 6 years ago.
So 1917.
1917.
That's when he escaped?
That was when he was treated, and not long after he escaped. So the actual the date that he was tried for manslaughter would have been January 1917.
The same year as the raid on the church.
Yeah, I guess that
Earlier
would
in the year.
It would be earlier in the year, but yeah, if he had escaped.
If he escaped later on in the year and then took up refuge in the chapel, where he's been stacking all these bodies.
No, he escaped early in the year, and the raid was later in the year.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was I thought his crime was in January. You said, or did he escape in January?
He was tried for manslaughter.
Let me put this. He was tried for manslaughter January 16th of January 1917. I remember that because of the records, and that he was actually brought to the hospital on the 22nd of that month.
Yeah.
So.
And then he escaped later that year.
Yes.
So the raid on the chapel was in 1912.
Oh, I see.
1917 is when the Reverend Michael Thomas escaped from prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
And it was also the same year that it was purchased. The land was purchased. You have the notes for that.
There's no way that's a coincidence. The church, the leader of the cult escaped prison the same year that this man escapes prison, Gaul. And the same year that the church is bought and Gaul set up shop in the church.
We don't know that he set up that he set up that same year.
True, we don't know that.
At any
That's a
point.
fair point. But my point is his escape, the purchase of the church, and the escape of the leader of the cult all in the same year, and then Gaul ends up being at the church 6 years later? And he had a collection of bodies. There is no way that this has been a recent setup
Did
in
any
the church.
appear older? I suppose.
Well, you didn't see the front of him.
I didn't really go too much in depth in
No,
the
were
stacks
they-
of bodies,
were
did I?
Oh,
I
the
suppose
bodies.
fresh. Ugh.
Do I retroactively recall any really old bodies?
Like decomposing.
Not really.
Would it be something that I can investigate further when I look at my photos?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I took pictures of the actual estate itself. Like, as you can imagine, it wasn't exactly an appealing sight.
No.
And
I'm surprised you stayed there as long as you did.
Well, part of that was the ladder kind of disappeared, so I didn't exactly have a choice for a chunk of that, and then the attack of the worms. But I took several photos of the scene itself. So once I process the photos, we can take a further look to see how long he has been in that state.
I cannot stress enough how dangerous this man is.
Oh, I believe you.
I mean, shoot on sight. Dangerous this
Which we
man
did.
is.
Because we totally knew who that was. Eh? I mean, you know. That's all I got. So, but at the same time, there still is a bit of a too much of a coincidence of that year. Do you have any records of Gaul from before his assault?
No, it would be just of the assault, and I haven't come across any. I was a beginner, so I was only given the preliminaries for the basic questions. That was it.
Would the hospital have those kind of records?
So, because this was early on in your career, you do recall that there really was no record of him prior to that anyway.
Oh, okay.
At the time. Now, in your opinion, it's not like you dug super deep trying to find, but you don't recall that there was really any record, which is quite common. I mean, World War I and all.
Mm-hmm. You said he appeared sane initially?
Initially, we thought the treatment was working, but when I went to ask further questions, because we want to initiate a reaction to make sure of sanity, he had then turned and attacked, and I was completely put off guard and everything. So.
Now we found correct me if I'm wrong. Did we find a picture of Michael Thomas?
No, I don't think so.
We never found a picture of Michael Thomas, and we never found a picture of Walter Corbett either.
No.
Did he ever receive any visitors while he was in the hospital?
You're not entirely sure.
No, and I don't, and I think with the crime and everything, we wouldn't have allowed any visitors. It's a mental institution. You'd have to be in a separate ward.
Do you have access to a photo of Gaul?
No, I wouldn't. No, not at all.
The institute wouldn't have any kind of.
The institute potentially could.
Yeah, the institute would have had it because in case of escape, and I do believe that there probably would have been issued a photo at the time.
I want to be able to narrow down something. If we can get a photo of Gaul, and we show it to Skeet, and we show it to Bill, we can narrow down if he is possibly Walter Corbett. That part is a little iffy, but we can narrow down if he is also Michael Thomas. Just to remove that as a possibility. We don't have any visuals on who these people are, with the amount of coincidences have.
Thomas, they were both in separate prisons at the same time.
That's fair. That's a good point. Unless they met and they became friends. They're both cannibals.
Separate prisons.
But
no, I mean after their escapes. If they met after their escapes. Because Michael Thomas was captured eating children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I make a psychology roll in this? I don't know if that would be in the sense or if that would be just knowledge.
Just ask me what you want to know and I'll tell you.
If I could just state that, cults usually generally go after people of this sort because they are weak of mind, and it's basically like it'd
be an occult roll.
That would be an occult roll?
If you're talking about cults.
Cult association.
Okay. I'll make that roll. 22 out of 37.
Nice. Now go ahead, say what you'd like about cults.
Fantastic. From what I know of how cults work, they usually go after someone whose minds can be manipulated, and they will use something that they can offer. Now, from what we understand from this cult that we're dealing with, obviously they don't have anything against killing. They actually almost seem to support that.
Ritual sacrifices.
So if you've got someone who's, I don't know, lack of a better word, fetish is to eat kids or to attack and eat the cheeks and neck of things, they're prime candidates for something of this sort, which makes this cult even more dangerous if they weren't more dangerous beforehand. I'm not sure what we're dealing with now. Like, I really honestly don't. And I don't know the different parties too. We just got attacked by people who looked like thugs, not cultists at this church, but I don't know if they're a part of it. Like, I honestly don't know how far it goes and who we can trust, to be honest.
Well, I still think sooner rather than later we should make that call to Mr. Black to clean up the scene.
Yes, no, for sure, and to see if they can get anything. Do warn them about the slugs, though.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to be pretty aware of the slugs from Small Skullets, so I don't think he'll be surprised by the concept.
Yeah.
Agatha, you said you thought that this man was sane because under the assumption that the mind could be healed. Can it?
Just wanted to make sure that nothing was changed on my sheet.
Can someone who's fallen this far ever come back?
In my opinion, and for Albertgall, no. From what I saw in that tower, no. He's completely mad.
If anything, it got worse. To clear up what I think had happened, I think he feigned sanity to try maybe to get out or to access maybe something. Maybe he was a part of the cult beforehand. I don't know. But from the level of sanity that I thought he had, and then whatever I had asked that triggered him, I think he was just trying to play a game to get to an end goal of his own. I honestly don't think in his case, I think he's absolutely far gone. I think, and only because he doesn't want to be helped. He likes the way he is. Yeah. So here's what we should do. Let's process all these photos. There's several symbols
Yes.
that we have images of as well. I would like to show these to Mr. Black. He seems to be pretty knowledgeable on symbols.
Mm-hmm.
There was one painted upon the door of the center. See what he says about these symbols. See how they connect to a cannibalistic cult.
I have something. And I pull out the notebook from my pocket and I said,
That's right.
found this at the work desk and upstairs, and I flip it to, I'm assuming it's like one of the first pages of this book. And I put it down just for everyone to see. Did you want to describe what it was?
Yeah, so it looks to be, it's really well drawn. Of this small, like 2-story, even though it's a 2-story, it seems small house with a yard, and it seems like it's normal. There's nothing really out of the ordinary, but there is something out of the ordinary. You can't really put your finger on it, but you just get a feel of unease just even looking at the drawing itself. And underneath the drawing is an address.
Where
In
is
Boston?
the address? Yeah.
Yeah, it is in Boston.
Jesus.
Can I make
I suppose this is our next stop.
Can I make a spot hidden to see if I see any more in that drawing?
I would like you to roll a spot hidden.
Oh, of course. 47 out of 66.
I would also like you to make a sanity check.
Why you always have to
Why
look?
you? Why you?
45 out of 57.
Okay. You lose 1 sanity.
What the fuck?
As you're like just staring at the picture and try to see, why am I feeling so uneasy about this? And as you're looking at it, one of the windows, the middle window on the second floor,
Yeah.
the way it's drawn is like if there's a curtain there,
Yeah.
you see the curtain move in the drawing itself.
Oh, God.
Slightly, and you get, and you sort of look back from it, and you're a bit freaked out for sure.
You recognize something?
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna push it back away after the initial seeing of that thing and just say, I need a drink. And then go upstairs and go get myself some water.
I kind of like pick up the book really quick and just kind of like fan through the pages like haphazardly before joining her.
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Grabbing my dice because I assume I have to throw something in a second.
Chemistry roll.
What? Oh, okay. It's not 1%.
Yeah, it's empty.
Huh.
It's just blank.
There's literally nothing else in this book.
Well, I suppose if he...
The Diary of a Madman. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything.
Usually there's madness in it. There's literally nothing in this.
Well, you said he wrote on the walls.
That's a fair point. But then why have a picture of a house on the first page? A rather lovely picture.
He may not have
Nothing in
been
the
the
rest.
one who drew it.
I don't know. They hand it to whoever else wants to take a look at it. And now I just put it on the desk. All right.
Was anyone else looking at the book?
Oh, I want to take it and make a note of what the address is. Like write it down somewhere.
Chemistry roll.
Chemistry to write down the address?
Or forensics, which are, no, as you're not to write down the address, but as you pick up the book and you're sort of looking at the page and stuff.
Okay.
Forensics or
Forensics.
That's
or
fair.
It's because it's
Sure.
either 30 or 1.
1, obviously.
27 out of 30. For
put a
Nice.
tick on forensics if you don't already have one.
I do not.
There we go.
Okay.
You notice as you're looking at it, and you just flick a couple of pages, just and you notice that there's like a residue on the pages, and it's like wax,
Okay.
slight wax, and then you grab like a lead,
Yeah.
like a pencil, and you start.
What the hell are you doing?
And there is writing that flays from the book.
Okay.
Yeah, and it seems to be not really in a language you know,
Well, it's
but seems to be like phrases of some sort.
okay.
Yeah, like phrases of some sort. I would like you to roll. Do you have anything in Cthulhu mythos? Cthulhu mythos?
No, I don't.
Is it called just Mythos?
No, I don't.
Cthulhu mythos.
No, it's under C.
Yeah, Cthulhu mythos.
Base is 0 unless you have something.
I have
I have like a
1%.
4%.
Yeah, Agatha's got 4, but she ain't there.
I'm debating if I had went upstairs because you have alcohol everywhere in your freaking place.
Yes.
I have
You're
it in
gone
places
upstairs.
that you
God dang
guys
it,
don't
fine.
even know about because you'll drink it all if you do.
Okay.
I'll roll a 1%.
You can roll
Yeah,
a
you can
Coke,
try.
or you can roll. She's the one with it, or Cthulhu mythos.
I can't roll Cthulhu Mythos because it's
Oh.
literally 0.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
roll a cult because I'm in the room. I
Okay,
see
so-
this happening.
so-
She has the
Cult.
book, so we're gonna start
Oh, okay.
with her, and then we can hand it around.
4%. So yes.
Huh.
What's your cult?
Wow.
Oh, cult
Space
is
5.
space 5.
So you have 5%. You rolled 4.
Yes.
Put a tick next
That's
to it.
insane.
Where's my pencil? That was also highly unexpected.
That's impressive as hell.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So what? As you're reading, sort of reading through it, some of it seems a little bit similar to some of the stuff you read in the Yellow book for the play The King in Yellow. Some of the phrasing and specifically to do with some witches, 3 witches.
Damn
That are in the as a part of the Yellow King play,
Hmm.
the King in Yellow, and the same sort of chanting. And from your basis of the King in Yellow play and this, it seems like a spell, like some kind of spell, like an occult. I mean, not real. I mean,
Yeah.
magic isn't real, but like some kind of spell. Yeah, that's what it seemed. Some kind of, and if it's similar to the King in Yellow, it's some kind of summoning spell to summon something.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, December 17th. In the meantime, Tuesday, December 10th is the next episode of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. The game system used today was the Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music, sound effects, and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Sirenscape. You can find all Twisted Gear Studios' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening are Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator, Stuart Hickey, and your GM, or Keeper, this evening was Derek Snow. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.